Alright, here on the Moto Guzzi V7. It's the V7? Yep, the V7 special. Okay, just sitting on it here. Oh, wow, I like that. Alright, about to do demo ride on the V7. Wow, okay. This is very interesting. Alright, out here on the Moto Guzzi V7. Just recently discovered this bike. Didn't know anything about it. And they had a demo day, so I figured why not experience it, experience a bike you know nothing about. Zero. I don't know anything about this bike. Okay. Whoa, breaking down. Alright, I'm in third gear. Wow. This is a interesting feel. Everything about this bike is completely different to mine, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here for see what's different, you know. First of all, starting it up, the engine shakes the whole bike and all that. That's pretty. It's pretty cool. It's a V-twin. 90-degree mounted V-twin, 850cc, and I believe it is air cooled. Yes, it is air cooled. So let's see if we can get it on the temperature screen. So there's not any modes. This should the mode button changes all the different. All right, so 83 degrees Fahrenheit is what this bike is running right now. Revs to just over what looks like 65. So don't know anything about this bike, so let's see how it goes. The clutch, it engages right off the bar, and the clutch is very light, but when as it releases, you really feel it. It wants to go immediately, and I like that. The gear shifter has no feel, but it has a lot of feel at the same time. It's weird. Let's try a little rev match downshift. Yeah, like you just click it, and somehow it does it. Like, you don't feel it doing anything. It's not like you click it up and you feel it. You just kind of tap it and it does its thing. But the bike doesn't feel heavy at all. Like, this is a really light feeling bike. Really light feeling bike. I think the weight was like 530, something like that. It doesn't even feel like that. Brakes, let's see. Brakes are fine. Nothing really massive. I mean, you're not gonna ride this bike very fast, so it's got adequate braking in it, and also it's a Brembo, so the one brake is very good. Normally mounted fork, it's not inverted like the V85 is, and it's pretty soft, as you can see. I think the front brake, by the way, is 320, so it's pretty big, and the rear is just under that. But I'm not sure if it's a Brembo or not. I forgot to check, but we'll see once I get it back. Seems like a 6-speed transmission, but the gears are pretty long, so I'll keep talking once we get back rolling. All right, back rolling. In transmission, you just sort of kick your foot up and it just does it. Now that to me conveys the message that this bike isn't meant to be ridden very fast, because if you were, let's say, you know, having some fun on the highway, you know, going flat out, you would second guess a lot in the beginning, at least if the bike even shifted. Takes some getting used to, but it works. And actually I like the way the shifter looks. It covers my whole boot, so I'm able to get a nice click. Even if I don't really feel it. I know I'm able to, you know, just kick it up. Let's see if we get it in the 6th. If it had, oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. You don't feel it. Like I said, you don't feel it. I literally thought I was still in 4th. But this thing has a lot of torque. And most of the torque, 85% of the torque is available, I believe, at 3,000, or I don't know if it's under 3,000, but you can just lug this thing around. Let's see. Taking some corners. Let's see how she goes. Okay, so the corner is exactly how I expected to. You know, didn't look at the tires. Like I said, guys, I don't know anything about this bike. 20 miles an hour. I don't know how big the rear tire is. The front, I wanted this to be as raw as it gets, you know. Any information I did figure out, I just wanted to figure it out naturally. No research, nothing. I just wanted to see what this bike is about, you know. It rumbles under you. You don't really feel a need to rev this thing out. He said there's a straight somewhere, but my fuel light's on, so I don't know why this always happened to me. But this bike actually gets up to speed quite nicely. It's smooth, but you feel the vibrations at the same time. But I wouldn't call them harsh. They're just there letting you know, hey, I'm running. You know, this bike at lower speeds is very pleasant. I don't think at higher speeds it'd be very very. One thing I'm noticing, other than the GoPro cutting off, is that the screen takes a minute to adjust to whatever you just did. So when you shift up, it takes the screen a second to click up. No big deal, but you know, just something I thought I'd note. This bike has like one of those induction, the induction sound. You hear the intake because the exhaust isn't loud at all. Honestly, I hear the actual engine more than I hear the exhaust. That's intake noise right there. That's not exhaust. You'd almost forget you were riding a. Yeah, each cylinder has its own own exhaust pipe going out the back. This bike is very quiet out the back, and that's probably to comply with the Euro 5 emissions and all that stuff. Everything's getting quieter, you know, in Europe. So if they do it if it gets quiet in Europe, it usually gets quieter for us. So, you know, that's just the way it is. But the induction noise is actually quite nice. It's actually quite nice. So I'm gonna make this video, keep this video short, guys. I'll probably go over a few things a little bit later, but all right, real quick, we're getting on the 120. He said we're gonna open it up a little bit, so I gotta see what that's about. Oh yeah. Oh, he's getting a little squirrely up there. Oh wow. Oh, this bike is not bad. Insane. It's not fast or blistering or this and that, but the way it goes about doing its thing, that's what you're here for. And the lower speeds, getting up to these higher speeds that we got up to, that's where this bike is the most fun. That induction noise, feeling the pull of the engine. It does pull nice. It's very nice. It has a split personality, definitely. So that's that. Didn't run out of fuel. I'm gonna get this bike back and I'm gonna do the V85. Let's see. Brakes. Yeah, the brake is actually brakes. The brakes are actually quite good. Little Brembo up front works very well for one. And the rear is fine too. Most of the time I was slowing down with just the rear alone, so you know, take that for what it's worth. The clutch, I love the way the clutch engages. It's a really, let's put it in neutral so you can see. Okay, it's nice that works well, but it's literally, I could do that one finger. Super easy to pull the clutch. The gear clicks are very vague, but once you get used to it, you know when it shifted like that. You got to be kind of snickety, you know. Can't be, if you're too slow, it's gonna jerk you a little bit. If you're too fast, then you're gonna get ahead of the bike. But if you get it just right, you know, nice fast clutch, you know, that's it. That's all it wants to do. You know, you get it right in that sweet spot, it's gonna be just fine. But this bike is very nice. I'd have to ride it a little bit longer to know, you know, like, let's say if I could own this bike, you know, I wouldn't go for a bike like this, honestly. Well, actually, no, this one. But I do like the Triumph versions of these, you know, like the Bonnevilles and this and that. But I think they're quirky bikes. They're interesting bikes. You know, I don't know hardly anything about them, which, you know, I could have researched, but I didn't. I wanted this to be as raw as it gets, you know, just showing up. I want to ride that bike, you know, and seeing how it feels without knowing all the numbers. Because once you look at the numbers, you develop expectations of this should feel like this, it should do that. I don't want expectations. I just want to see, how does the bike feel? What is the bike like, you know, without knowing very much about it, other than like what stuff you can see, you know, stuff that's obvious. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna wrap this one up because this is probably too long. I wanted to keep this really short because it's not really a review or something, it's just a demo ride. So this is out of Vespa Marietta, of exit 265. You make a left on Cobb, and then I forgot where you go from here, but Vespa Marietta. Alright, that's it. See you guys on the next one.